say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Welcome to Brainstorm.
We have the explicit tag for a reason.
This is a base level argument to a higher level of morality.
I get paid to science?
Two science as much as one can science.
What the hell was my point?
Trigger warning. The Brainstorm podcast will criticize your most cherished beliefs. We attack nonsense in all its forms and discuss difficult subjects. If you peddle pseudoscience, supernatural woo, or religious dogma, then this is not your safe place. This is the home of hardcore skepticism.
All right, welcome to Brainstorm. This is episode 2. No, not episode 2. Episode 53, and today is September 2nd, 2016. I'm Corey, and my panel tonight are Destin.
Hello.
Angela.
Hi.
Renee.
Hello.
And Leo.
Hey there.
With the always amazing Dave doing sound.
Hello, hello.
We're here in Roman Empire Studios in Regina, Saskatchewan. Tonight's show is brought to you by Reasonist Inc., atheist, skeptic, and science-based apparel. You can find them at reasonistinc.com. Tonight's guest is Chris Watson, blogger and host of the Podunk Polymath podcast. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Hey, man, how's it going?
A bit hectic. How about yourself?
Oh, just having a little beer, you know, chilling out, you know. Dos Equis is the beer right now. I couldn't find anything better, so I just settled for this.
What do you normally drink?
I try to find craft beers, porters, stouts.
You're one of those beer snob types.
We're not
Yep,
snobs.
sure am.
We just like shit
snobs.
that tastes good.
Yeah.
No, you're
Yeah.
snobs.
You're drinking your pre-mixed Clamato crap.
Homeopathic beer. We've discussed this many times.
This
Let's
isn't
my
a source spot, Chris. Sorry.
That makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
Can you see that, Chris?
That's ridiculous.
It's not even beer.
It's
Well,
beer.
Y'all shouldn't even let that in the country.
it's
We've
tasty.
been trying to keep it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But where
tasty.
That's one of the reasons we want to build a wall.
Yeah.
But where there's
We don't want
demand,
your
there's
fucking
supply.
maple syrup. So somebody does because they stole a whole shitload of it in Quebec or somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do
the
that all
heist.
the time. That,
Yeah,
that
no, in a
cheese?
goalie setup.
No, that was just the newest thing where they
Oh.
stole a bunch of beer while they were in goalie equipment.
I actually bought beer from that particular
Is that
store
right?
last year. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Oh wait, is this a explicit thing? Or
Somebody robbed a liquor store wearing a goalie uniform and holding a hockey stick.
That is so Canada.
Isn't
That
it?
is so Canada.
The only thing missing is they didn't get away on a moose.
Yeah.
Neither of them had
While
beavers,
singing
so-
tragically hip songs.
They were
And
ahead
saying
almost
A
by-
several times.
Yes.
And apologizing while they're robbing the place.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
Didn't
Yeah.
mean to. Sorry. All right.
Have we
Sorry,
got
this
them
is a
all?
robbery, eh?
Didn't mean to, eh?
The guy working the store is probably apologizing.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all I have. Sorry.
So, Chris,
Yeah.
you have a podcast and stuff.
Yes, I do.
Why did you name it what you named it?
Polymath. I purposely came up with. It took me a while to do it because I was trying to find because I love alliteration.
Okay.
1, 2. I wanted to come up with something that existed nowhere else on the internet, so that when you punch that in, that's the first thing that comes up.
That
That
works.
seems reasonable.
Isn't that a little
basically the
tricky?
opposite of what we did.
Wouldn't that be a little tricky if somebody just typed in podunk? If they didn't type the whole title?
It would,
Yeah.
but I mean, eventually it would come back to that anyway. I mean, nobody's going to just, You know what? Why are you ruining my fucking drink?
That's his shtick.
That's what I
his
do.
shtick.
That's Destin's thing. Yeah.
He likes doing that stuff.
I thought you Canadians are supposed to be nice.
Well,
He's a-
most of us are.
I've lived elsewhere. I know that there's places where people aren't as nice.
But if you're looking for niceness, this is not the right place to look.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm
All right,
nice. I'm nice.
Yes, Angela's nice.
Fuck everybody else. I'm nice.
Yeah. So it actually was just a blog first, eh?
Yeah, and actually, I had a podcast before this one. I was on Unbuckling the Bible Belt first, and this blog was Unbuckling the Bible Belt initially. Then it went to a podcast a couple of years ago. It's still going, but I bowed out because it was just better on its own. I kind of was going through some things, and I decided to kind of bow out. Thought it'd be better, and then I got the bug again, so I decided to do my own thing by myself because I had a co-host before. So.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the podcasting bug. Once you got it, it's tough to. It's like tattoos.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah. I mean, for people who get tattoos, I'm not a big. I mean, I like girls with tattoos. Don't get me wrong.
The difference, Corey, is there's probably some people that appreciate your tattoos.
There's people who appreciate this, but we'll get to that during the listener feedback portion of the episode.
I've been trying to get myself kicked off of this show since we started. So.
Hasn't worked so
We've
far.
been threatening to shut off his mic from day one. We just never do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being lazy.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so what made you just said you had the podcasting bug. So you focus a lot on the social justice issues.
Well, that's okay. That's the initial.
Well, you've only got
focus right now.
3 episodes out, right?
Yeah, I'm 3 episodes in. I mean, that's a starting point. But I mean, I might branch up to other stuff. Basically, the podcast I was on before was like kind of hardcore anti-theist, atheist shit, and basically we just barked about religion all the time, how much it sucks. But that gets old after a while. So
It does suck, though.
It does.
no, I mean, don't get me wrong, it sucks ass.
Old,
That's
I
not,
guess.
but this is something because the whole atheism thing has only been something I got into fairly recent. I mean, being social about it, or whatever you want to call it, being more open about it, has only been a recent phenomenon for me. I've always been interested in social justice issues, so I decided to take this in a little different direction, something that's more personal to me and something that I'm more passionate about. So, I'm going to be doing an episode on depression here soon. I've already asked people if they want to give me their stories and stuff. So there's going to be different things. It's basically just me, what I care, things I think are important and interesting. Because
No,
fuck
that's
you,
cool.
it's my podcast.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I can't name it. Fuck you, it's my podcast. Well, I guess I could.
You could.
but,
Yeah.
You absolutely could.
Totally.
I might steal that, actually.
Yeah.
You'd actually have to do something, though.
No. Not if it was my podcast.
Well,
feel
okay,
that
that's
tension?
fair.
Yeah,
You
it's
wouldn't
fuck you,
have,
it's my podcast.
Yeah.
don't have to do
It
it.
could just be me playing fucking No Man's Sky for 2 hours and not even talking.
That would be a boring
The music is
podcast.
relatively meditative, though. People will you could do guided meditation every so often. Just do the
Mixing in some Reiki.
yeah. Fuck this shit.
No.
Gotta have
No.
the cupping.
Yeah, no.
Cupping.
No
Yeah.
woo-woo bullshit.
None of that shit. But yeah, I was gonna say your show is focused mainly on social issues, but you're also a skeptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a multifaceted kind of guy. I'm complex. I'm like an onion. I smell like one and I got layers. So. Not always. And when
Ogres
I
are
go
like or like onions.
Yes.
yeah, basically. I was gonna say when I go out on dates, which is never. So yeah, basically all the time.
Dating
I've
is
never
you
seen an
also-
onion go on a date, so
Another question, just to follow up. Do you also make people cry?
I make the ladies cry. Because it's so good. Oh, yeah.
I'm tearing up
You know
over
what I'm saying?
here.
You know what I'm saying, Angela? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, girl.
It's got that white onion privilege going.
White onion privilege.
Nice. Quite often, the name of the episode changes when it actually gets released. After the live show, I think you just named it.
Yeah,
That's white onion privilege.
that's definitely right up there.
Yeah.
I was going to say dating is overrated, but it is. It is.
It is
Was.
overrated.
It is. It has been.
You say that because you're married. You have to say that now.
No.
You can't be like, oh, I remember when I dated. Fuck, was that fun?
No.
Why did I
it
stop
wasn't.
doing that?
I hated dating. I hated
You
it.
probably just sucked at. You probably weren't an onion.
I did
You were
suck.
probably
I
garlic.
did suck, and that was one of the better parts of it. But honestly, dating is fucking overrated. It's just, it's not worth it.
Well, the effort you have to put in to get laid, sure. I mean, there's easier ways.
Yeah.
This
think
is
we're
this is
getting
a
off
typical
topic.
show for us, Chris.
So
Yes,
you're an
direction
onion. The
here is
ladies
good.
cry, and what else?
Because it's so good.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get it twisted.
For
Onions
sure.
Don't get
good.
it twisted.
You got to keep the story straight.
It looks like you have a sweet bed and a quilted pillow behind you. Did you make that pillow?
I'm at my mom's house. All right. Let's just,
I was just going to compliment the headboard, but
It looks like an antique fucking headboard.
yeah, it is. It's
that
like a
mahogany?
sleigh bed. I'm going to
That's-
Knoxville. Actually,
I'm not-
towns in Tennessee.
Nobody's
I'm not
in the
knocking
morning.
that at all.
This is closer to
You
where
would be
'cause I'm
knocking
going
that
to.
headboard.
So you're married, Angela?
Yes.
Uh,
Just about
for
celebrating.
now,
Never say never, right?
polyamory, baby.
There's a distance limit, I think.
You want to get
if you check
Mormon
the
up in this
contract.
motherfucker? Come on.
I'm really bad at sharing. I just can put that out there.
That's some big love, you know what I'm saying?
That was a really good show. But I seriously couldn't do that.
All right, fine.
Rejected again.
so social justice.
Yeah, so social justice.
Oh yeah, that stuff. That's actually pretty important stuff to me. If you look at my Facebook feed, you'll see that it's concentrated mostly at this because in America, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we have kind of a bit of a race problem here, and Canada's not immune. So let's
No,
just
by
say-
any
We've had our
stretch.
own stuff going on.
I just read a story about some dude black guy talking for some kind of Edmonton is cool or something, and some
Yep.
white guy just started calling him. I'll say on your podcast, but just started calling him the N word or whatever.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about that. That's horrible.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I mean,
No, we're not immune by any stretch, that's for sure.
So when you have somebody from the South saying, what the fuck about our racism,
That's
we got some shit to sort out. Not saying you're racist. I'm saying somebody in the South talking
so.
about
Yeah.
racism.
Yeah. So
What-
what's it like being in the South when you're an outspoken advocate against racism?
well, here's the thing, though. I mean, I'm outspoken on the podcast and stuff because I'm like basically completely socially inept. So
I can relate
Like the
to
rest
that.
of us, then.
I can relate to that.
I rarely talk to people outside in the real world because I'm just not very. I'm not. I make word salad and I'm just not very good at it. So I try to avoid people if I can. I hate people generally. I'm a misanthrope. So this is my outlet. I guess you could call it. Like, we all have our ways we contribute or whatever. Mine just happens to be having a podcast and trying to get issues out because I'm not somebody, who I admire these people who are activists and shit who can actually get out in the front lines and do shit.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are the real heroes on this shit. Who get out there and just put themselves on the line for it. I'm just some dude talking shit behind a microphone or behind a keyboard or whatever.
Right.
These are the real dudes and ladies and whatever gender you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
They're the ones that we need to pay attention to. And it's not just, like the racial issues. Of course, LGBT issues are another one. Wealth inequality is another one. Of course, they're all intertwined in some way or another, unfortunately. It's like a big ball of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big yarn ball. A
Yes.
big ball of yarn shit, all just intertwined together.
So in this
There's a lovely mental picture.
So in this big
Yarn
ball of
shit.
shit, like where does your passion lie? Like which is the topic that interests you most to talk about or to discuss?
Well, like I said, right now it's pretty much the racial inequality issue. I think is probably the main one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's right up there with LGBT issues as well. Because the big thing is, for me, is in order for everybody to be equal, we got to raise other people up to the same level. And then we can kind of work on getting everybody up. But right now, we got so many minorities. We got minorities, whether it be racial minorities or LGBT issues or people who don't have a voice in general. That to me is because I'm a white guy. I'm like right up there on the privilege scale. I'm not rich, and I'm not Republican, but I'm a white guy and I can do more shit than most people can who aren't. So I want to try to use that privilege, for positive ways instead of negative ways, like a certain guy whose name rhymes with dump. Want to use his privilege to fucking bring down people and instill fear and hate, in the majority. Well, I won't say majority of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he's a symptom of the Republican Party, right?
well, they made him. Yeah, they
Yeah.
pretty much made him.
But on that track, like an important question, what's your view on the benefits of having a taco truck on every corner?
I mean, I could say, yeah, it's great that he's on the tick, but that's just to me. I mean, I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to wallow in Schadenfreude over this shit because it's too important. I know it's a kind of a cliche to say, well, this is an important election or whatever, but this shit, man, this is crazy. This is absurd. Donald Trump is, he's like the apex of ignorance. And I'm not sure if he's Andy Kaufman and he's playing a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've said this since he started running that, I had this secret fantasy that he was going to do it at the Republican convention, and the winner is Donald Trump. And he gets up to the mic and he peels off that really fake face. And it's Jon Stewart. That was my personal fantasy. It didn't happen that way, but that's what I thought should have happened. Because it doesn't seem real. It seems like a parody or something. Like,
Yeah.
But he's. I mean, it's not. It's funny, but it's not funny because he's bringing out the very worst in people,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and he's given license to people doing the most ignorant, racist, bigoted, violent shit. People are doing some violent shit in his name. And there was a book I read. It was it Can't Happen Here, and it was Sinclair Lewis.
Okay.
Not too long ago. Y'all need to go check that fucking book out for real.
I'll write
Okay,
it down. What's it called?
It Can't Happen Here. It's basically that was just before. It was when Hitler. This is before World War II. Now he wrote this pre-World War II, but when the Nazis came to power in Germany.
Okay.
And he was saying how Nazi-esque shit could happen in this country. Now, yes, it's hyperbolic to an but he's trying to get a point across, and that's his vehicle. It's kind of a bit hyperbolic, but you can see how that could happen. And he may not have brown shirts technically, but he's got rednecks doing his bidding. Okay.
yeah. I've seen some of the videos of
The scary thing is he's got white collar America doing his bidding.
But if we look a little bit deeper into the politics of the U.S. So if you have, there is the race issue specifically, let's say, is so politicized that a Republican just hears like a Black Lives Matter, for example, and they feel obligated to oppose it without even considering any merits that it may have. And that goes much deeper than just Donald Trump. That is something that's woven into the politics of we must oppose certain things just based on political ideology or political dogma.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's ignorance. I mean, this country, our education system is shit, for one thing. That's one of the problems. Another problem is there, especially the Republican Party, is they are all about lining up. They will get in line and do what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they have so much success, is because Democrats tend to be a little more scattershot. They're not always willing to get in line. Now, the Tea Party is an exception for the Republicans. Unfortunately, they've dragged the Tea Party's drug them right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tea Party kind of
It's
took
actually
over
gotten worse that direction. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
the Tea Party kind of took over the Republican Party and
Yeah, in some ways.
dragged
right?
them
Yeah.
even more right. So
but this is the realization of the Tea Party's ultimate goal is Donald Trump, pretty much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Republican Party, or at least the stalwarts, the establishment Republicans, a lot of them are bowing out. They're like, he's too much. Now they want to try to disavow him, even though they're the motherfuckers that created him to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
well, now that Franken Trump is actually on the tear, they want to back away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you made this shit sandwich, motherfucker.
Well, as soon as you saw the rider of who all was running for Republican leadership, like sure there were 348 of them, but none of them had any clout at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go back to the first election that Obama won, the Republican Party actually had some fucking pretty good opposition there. There was some political power and some intelligence against them, right wing Christian craziness, but at least there was some real political power. And who did Trump have as one of his major opposition members? Like Ben Carson. he had there was nobody to oppose him.
But also the dumber Bush was there.
There was nobody to oppose him.
And what was so ironic about Jeb was he was supposed to be the smart one.
He was supposed to be the smarter Bush.
Well, or
was
Jeb!
smarter.
The less
Exclamation
politically
mark.
savvy.
But he's just as dumb and not even charismatic.
Yeah.
At least W had the virtue of having that aw shucks kind of.
Yeah, he kind of had an idiot
charisma.
savant charm to him.
Yeah, that's right.
Only in America does an idiot
just
savant get
watch-
two terms.
You seen Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay or whatever?
No,
Y'all
that's
ever
the
seen
one I
that
haven't
movie?
seen.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone else
they
has.
meet George. They meet W, and they make him out. He's like, he's cool and he smokes weed and shit. This is even liberal. Some liberals think he would be a cool guy. He was just shitty president. But he was a puppet. W was a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Karl Rove pretty much picked him out and said, "Hey, you're going to be president." Okay,
And then answered to Darth Cheney.
yeah, Dick. Yeah, all of those. He brought all the old gang back together. Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, all those guys. They're Republican neocons from way back.
Yeah, the neocons' greatest hits.
Yeah, they were in Nixon's administration.
It's like ABBA.
So
Rumsfeld went as far back as Nixon? I didn't think that. But
they all did. Yeah, they all
really?
did. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this isn't a new story. And then under his father's administration, they served as well.
I knew they served under. I thought it was under Reagan, but I don't really know.
Big
about-
George
well, this
and
is-
Reagan.
This was the neocons pretty much their ultimate dream was W.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And he didn't destroy the country necessarily. Well, Okay,
He destroyed other countries.
Yeah.
He destroyed other
Yeah,
countries. Yeah.
you know,
that's fair.
So
He left your
You know-
place a hotbed of shit, though. It's like a ball of yarn covered in shit is what he left you, which is what you're talking about now.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm I'm more cynical in some ways, but less cynical in others because I recognize that if if Cheney didn't fucking completely nuke us off everything off the planet, then we'll be okay with Trump, even if he were elected. Now, that's not to say it's going to be a fucking winter wonderland or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's three co-equal branches of government. Okay.
Yeah.
And the big thing, I guess, with me would be the judicial, and that's the justices, the Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
That would probably be but even then, I don't know who he would. I'm not positive because he changes his mind every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
so it's hard.
technically he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what
And
he's
the thing
doing.
is, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I am not super worried if Trump does become president because in the end, the main political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, they still run the entire show. Like you can have W, he can only fuck it up to a certain point. And you have Obama, and he can just do things to a certain point because there's so many bureaucratic walls that you have to get shit through. Like people make it sound like this guy's gonna nuke all the cities the first day he's in office, which is not gonna happen. Like
no, exactly. I mean, he's sitting here telling me he's going to deport 2 million people on this. In my first hour in office, I'm going to deport 2 million people. It's going to be huge. You know, you're an idiot.
You can't.
What are you even talking? You can't. I mean, Obama said he was going to close Guantanamo Bay.
He couldn't do that. Yeah.
That motherfucker's still open.
Yeah.
You know.
It is.
Yeah.
Good luck finding the illegal immigrants. First off,
And I would.
good luck.
I would take I say take 2 million stupid fucking white nationals, cocksucking rednecks, and send them out of the country.
So just move the
Mexicans don't
border
want
north
them.
about.
The Mexicans don't want them.
So you just move the southern border up.
No, because
And
I'm here. No,
west a little bit.
No. Now let's backtrack a little bit.
Let's not go that far.
Let's not go totally crazy here.
No.
Oh shit.
But then again, yeah,
Yeah.
Trump. I don't think he's ever paid 1 second of attention in civics class. I don't think he understands at all what his powers would be as president.
Well,
He
and
doesn't care.
Do you have to take
sure.
civics class when you get an honorary degree?
you don't.
You don't have
Look
to
at
take
Trump.
civics class for a regular fuck.
Trump's never had any class.
No, that's right.
No, and he will be kicked out of office so quick too. Like he'll try to make a bunch of executive decisions
On
and
the
just
melon.
get shot down,
And get impeached.
and he'll get impeached.
Well,
Like,
I actually
he won't make a
disagree.
full term.
Well, he
No,
won't.
that-
He will
no.
not get impeached. Like
You can't. Okay. You can't get executive actions shot down. They're executive. Therefore, they're his prerogative. Those
Yeah.
can't be. You can't do anything about that.
no, but he'll try to make everything an executive action. That's
No. It's
well,
not.
it's very limited what you can do and what you can't do.
yeah, but he doesn't know any
Shane-
of it. That's just it.
Yeah.
He's probably going in dry, thinking that he'll just have ultimate power and just
Yeah,
somebody
he-
will say no, and he'll be like, "You're fired."
He has said things like about how he'll limit the criticisms of him in the press and like things like that, like
Yeah.
things that you
He
just
just-
can't do.
You just shut up.
Right?
What are you
Right.
even saying right now? And this is what the only thing that is people aren't paying attention. They don't give a shit what he says. Honestly,
No.
They're just glad to hear some guy sticking it to the establishment. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
It's got
it's
nothing
nice
to do
to
with
see.
policies. It's got nothing to do with any substantive issues. It's just all about him, sticking it to the man, basically. Even
for
though,
once-
ironically, he's the fucking man himself.
Yeah.
For once,
He's
it's
a
nice
fucking
to see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see a wealthy white American male running for president.
Finally.
Finally.
I know.
Other than he may not be that wealthy.
It depends on his mood.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
arguably, he's not that white. He's kind of orange.
It's getting oranger by the day.
Did you see the Beaverton article about Donald Trump going to Mexico? It is one of the most hilarious ones that I've read in a while.
I still think it was his
No,
plan.
I missed
That's
that one.
that he went to Mexico as a way to truly make the Mexicans build and pay for the wall. It's to keep his fucking ass out of Mexico.
Oh, but you should have seen the Mexican president's ratings are now below zero. Like every single Mexican was super pissed off that the president even shook that guy's hand.
Is that right?
Yeah.
get
He's he's lucky if he's not going to get like impeached.
Who gives a shit?
And, yeah, but like the Mexican people got like super pissed.
I'm Mexico.
crazy.
I just got nothing for Mexico. I'm sorry. They're basically a third world country.
Their tacos
I hate
are
to
really
say
good,
that.
though.
Well, you better make sure it's not laced with anything. That's all I'm going to say.
I might get some
The country's not
some
the best.
diarrhea.
This may be a bad time to tell you, but I actually pretty much grew up in Mexico, and I'm born in Mexico.
Yeah, well, so did Mitt Romney.
Yeah, that's true.
Mitt Romney was, his dad fled to Mexico because of polygamy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I actually live
Really?
not,
I didn't know that.
I live not too far from that Mormon fucking camp that's in northern
Yeah.
Mexico.
Is that
yeah.
right?
that's when.
Yeah, I drove by there often. I was like, oh, fucking Mormons.
That's why I'm
They've
talking.
got the wrong God.
They have the wrong God.
Did you say it in English or did you say it in Spanish?
I was more thinking it to myself.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
To be clear, I'm not speaking of the Mexican people. I'm speaking of the government.
Right.
Yeah, it is true. I do agree. I'm not saying I disagree with you. Like, I mean, the government is very non-functional.
Yeah.
Yes. He's drinking
But they're
beer.
smart-
You can't
but they're
hate the
sm-
Oh,
Mexicans
yeah.
that much.
But they are smart
think-
enough to hate Trump, though.
They are smart enough to hate Trump.
Well, we were talking about that at supper.
Doesn't take much.
Maybe eventually the U.S. will be a first world country. Eventually.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd
Eventually.
be nice.
We're nominally a first world country.
Well, except for the people that live there, most of them.
Yeah.
Most
So
of
on paper, it's a first world
Yeah,
country.
on paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Except for we're going to a neo-feudalistic system.
Yeah.
We have the very rich and the fucking serfs. So, just forget about that part.
Yeah, just
Your next podcast will be Mad Chris,
No, I
Street
get really,
Warrior.
That's why I say I'm passionate about these issues. And on the show, I try not to get too much like that because like I said, my other show is a lot more. I don't know. My nickname was Seethin' Heathen.
right.
So
Nice.
I was seething. I was pissed off. I try not to be so much, but when I go on other people's shows, I don't know if y'all ever listen to Angry Black Rant with Ishmael Brown or
Yep,
whatever.
every week.
And I was on there not too long ago. I don't know, about a month ago or whatever it was, and I went off on there too. And I
Yeah,
was-
here after his break.
yeah, I was the first one back after his break.
Yeah, and then he was just on your show last week, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a good episode. So I guess I was going to ask you, where do you see the issues with social justice and the skeptical or atheist communities? I actually, to clarify, I consider the skeptical community and the atheist community to be separate communities. But so it almost seems like there's trouble within both of those communities with different social issues. So I was
Okay.
going to get your take on some of that.
Yeah, there's definitely a rift that's developed between what I call kind of what has been called basically SJWs and I guess assholes. That's what I'm calling them. And when I'm talking about, but it's led by a lot of YouTube atheists like Thunder Dick, Okay, Thunderfoot. Whatever. His fucking name.
I think I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, everybody knew who you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing asshole. I mean, amazing atheist.
Yeah.
You know, guys like that who are just they're just so, oh, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Fuck social justice. It's fucking taking the focus away from true atheism, whatever the fuck that even means. Well, you just sit around a fucking circle jerk to fucking Christopher Hitchens all fucking day. I mean, what are you doing? I
One
mean,
wonders.
Now that
It's
you
not
bring
a
it up, I
monolith.
do wonder. Actually, I didn't.
I try not to
say
ponder that.
necessarily-
I didn't
I'm saying
realize
there's
that was an
other
option.
things.
Wait.
I mean,
sorry.
what recent rally happened, there was a big thing about that because in their terms of or whatever code of conduct, they were throwing a bitch. They were pitching a bitch because something about you use people's proper pronouns or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you that big of a penis? Really? A huge, nasty, throbbing, pus oozing penis? What is wrong with you? Seriously. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah,
or if you're going to
no
be a dick,
kidding.
be a good dick. You know what I'm saying? Don't be an asshole. But apparently that's too much for them. That's too much for them to even fucking fathom. It's just not to be. No, it's like they want to go out. It's this whole free speech thing. You know, I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can do what I want. You know. Okay, yeah, you can do what you want. That's nobody's ever said that.
But there's consequences.
Yeah,
You have
that's
the
what I was
freedom to
thinking.
say what you want. You don't have the freedom to be free from consequence.
People don't want free speech; they want consequence-free speech. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then that's what this rift is about. Basically, is the social justice people who are concerned about social justice and happen to be atheists. And then there's people who are atheists who happen to be fucking assholes.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean,
There are people that are concerned with social justice that are assholes too, and happen to be atheists.
and I'm not saying there's not, but
He's volunteering.
trust me, I'm an asshole. I mean,
Admitting
I mean,
it is the
I have-
first step, though.
To what?
yeah, I don't.
He doesn't want to fix the problem.
Yeah, he doesn't want
What
to change.
problem?
I don't know.
But
Sorry.
I'm not. I try not to be. I try to be self-evaluating and try to be self-correcting if I can.
Yeah.
If I fuck up, and I know I fuck up, I'm going to admit it, and I'm going
Yeah.
to say, "Look, I fucked up." They don't care. It just seems like they don't care. It's like they double down. Somebody calls them out, you know, they're like, "Oh, well, fuck you. I'm going to do it twice as much."
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're just a dick. Now, and that may get you more followers on YouTube and more money in your Patreon.
Apparently,
But you're a shitty human being.
Yeah.
That's just what it sounds like.
like, what does the amazing atheist have? Like, he's got over 1 million subscribers on
It's
YouTube.
ridiculous. I mean, really? And it doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, let's not pretend that Trump is, you know, just there's Trump on the other side too. There's plenty
Right.
of Trumps. You know, it's the same kind of fucking demagogic bullshit is what it is. You know, it's just some guy yeah, he's saying what I'm thinking. You know, woohoo! I'm a stupid redneck too. Woohoo! I don't give a fuck what people think. It's the same impulse. You know, he's feeding the same. He's a bizarro Trump. They're bizarro Trumps or something. They're like the opposite. Just on the opposite side of the spectrum or whatever. Or not even on the opposite side of the spectrum necessarily, because a lot of them are racist and xenophobes too.
Well,
So,
I think it's really interesting because the American Humanists, I think that was the American Humanist Association came out with this social justice platform, and they were going to team up with black atheists and
yes,
the LGBT atheists groups and like these other groups, and they were going to team up for this social justice movement. And there was all this, oh my God, I can't believe Humanist Canada is doing this, and what a bunch of SJW assholes. Like,
wait a minute, Humanist Canada?
or no, America, yeah.
I was going to say y'all didn't do that. Come on.
Well,
We're
we
sorry.
have had people talk to like CFI Canada and Humanist Canada about this stuff and post on their page. And you still get, even in Canada, you still get this backlash. Well, why should this organization that claims to be about humanism care about social justice? And I just
because they're fucking humans, you idiot.
Yeah.
Because it's the same fucking thing.
Because that's what humanism is, isn't it?
So many people think that it's an evil thing, and it's just like you don't want to be a social justice.
Well, social justice warrior has kind of been mixed in with, the keyboard warrior.
Right.
I'm going to say shit behind my keyboard, and
Yeah.
The difference is that SJW will put their name on the shit they're saying. Like, they're not hiding behind anything.
That's true. They're not being anonymous and hiding behind a...
Yeah, no, they host podcasts laying in a bed with a nice mahogany backboard.
Quilted pillows.
This is what sexy is, okay?
Damn right.
I guess you're bringing sexy back.
It was always
here the whole time.
It was there the whole time.
Never left.
Just because you didn't know it was there.
I can't help you with that, man.
I could have gone a good while longer without knowing it was there.
Oh, come on.
Hey, that's on you, man.
Yeah, I see that now, and I take responsibility for my actions.
Yes.
It's good. It's good.
So a little background. What do you do, Chris?
What do I do?
Yeah.
As little as possible.
Listener Kayla says she's a social justice mage.
Yeah, that's
Like a red mage or a white mage?
Or a ranger. Yeah, they use different classes to kind of make fun of that. I've heard that before. Somebody said they were a social justice ranger or a social justice cleric. Well, the cleric's probably not.
Social justice thief?
Yeah, nobody wants to be a cleric.
Rogue?
Is that Robin Hood? Social justice thief?
Social justice rogue is Robin Hood. Yeah.
Stealing
Social
from
justice
the...
half orc. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez.
That almost could be a podcast into itself, right there.
Social justice half orc. Nice.
Social justice, the die 20 system.
So, what's your opinion on the NFL and the guy who decided to sit for the national anthem?
Who gives a fuck? It's
No,
football.
I did not ask you, Gumby. Sorry.
This question is for Chris.
This is for our guest.
Because it's
Obviously.
causing like a huge shitstorm down there. So I was wondering if you had any opinions on it, or
Did I have any opinions on it? Come on.
Share
Of
them.
course I do. I posted like 100 fucking things towards it. Yeah, he's completely right. I'm completely on his side. And he's woke. That's what they call woke, baby.
So,
No, that's not. I don't think that's woke. I think he's got to believe in chemtrails and that the government is trying to assassinate him.
No.
Those people
No.
are woke.
But didn't
He's
somebody
seeing
else?
what's going on. He's
Didn't
seeing
somebody
what's
else
going on.
sit down in solidarity? Wasn't there a?
There's a couple. Another guy did. And on his team, and then somebody from San Diego did, I think. On the other team, the last time they played. Last game they played, I don't remember.
Colin, what's his name? Colin
Kaepernick?
Kaepernick.
There was a really nice meme on the internet. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was, okay, you Black Lives Matter people, you guys need to just, protest quietly. Sits down during the...
yeah, sits down quietly.
No,
like that.
not like that.
No, not that kind of quietly. A different kind of quietly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I'm totally... This is not anything new, okay? And, of course, the thing, well, you're a rich guy. You're not... Apparently, if you're rich, you're not allowed to have an opinion. And it's not like he's rich, he's like Donald Trump rich or something. He's just some guy, he's a guy who has a talent and was able to make money off it. So what? Just because you have money, you're not allowed to have an opinion? I would never say that about anybody. Now, I may not agree with your opinion, but that still gives you the right to have it. And he's bringing, and with his celebrity, he's able to bring it to a larger audience.
Yeah.
But he's proven the point by saying black people have been oppressed and are still being oppressed by everybody and their grandmother coming out and tweeting nigger every 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I've seen
So
it brought up.
So he's proven their point. And forgive me, I don't like to say the N word because it loses its punch. People need to realize that this kind of shit is still going on in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this ain't 1916, 1816. We're talking about 2016. There are still people, and these are true keyboard warriors. These people on Twitter getting on here talking shit.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was actually Ishmael Brown who said that if you're talking about a news story that uses the word, then you should say it.
Yeah, well, obviously. He's rubbed off on me a little bit.
I still have trouble saying it.
I like it.
But I understand his sentiment.
I mean, it is a difficult thing, but the thing is, we need to. That's part of the problem. Is we're not willing to confront the difficult things. We always want to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, that's right.
There hasn't been a real wrecking. There hasn't been a real conversation in this country about race ever. To me,
I was talking to
not even when you guys got a black president.
Oh,
it got worse.
Yeah.
It got worse.
It got worse.
Apparently.
I was talking to a guy.
Sorry, I'm white now.
I was talking to a guy. He said, basically, I mean, and he's a black guy who is from down in the States. His family lives down in the States. And he said, America has been like this, like they've been together. Blacks and whites have been living together for 400 years, and they still can't figure it out. Like, it's been so intermixed. The population has been so diverse, and they still can't get along. Like, is this ever going to work?
Well, they have the same problem in the States with the Native Americans down there. It's way worse down there than it is here. It's just they've killed more of them than we have.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have broken every fucking treaty. Every single treaty you made with your Native Americans, you broke them.
Yeah.
So that's why I really liked another meme I saw that was "Make America Great Again," and it was a bunch of natives in their traditional clothing, and you saw the Mayflower sailing away from the U.S.
Nice.
Okay. I have to pee real bad. Okay, so can you just give me 1 second?
For sure.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just pause the live show here.
No, I'm sorry.
Do we have do we have that weird hold music?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's the weirdest hold music we've ever had.
Yeah.
No,
on that word, I actually have an uncle who uses that word nonchalantly,
right?
just in conversation when he's also down in Texas. But he just in conversation when talking about their president or any other black person, like that's just the way
I have with that word is that it's so contextual, right? Like I watched, who was it? D.L. Hewley. He was making a joke about that where he was talking about was it Django Unchained? A lot of people were upset how much they used the N-bomb and that. But D.L. Hewley was like, there was supposed to be 120 niggas in Django Unchained. There was more niggas in the concession stand, and he was making jokes about that. And like, you listen to enough rap music, it's carpet bomb. It's carpet bomb.
And with Django Unchained, I think I don't think they overused it, because if you want to be historically accurate, in reality,
it's a Tarantino movie. Historically accurate. I don't know about that.
But if you're gonna do
or two,
like if you're gonna do
a time period,
like a time period, be it accurate or not, but it would have been used.
And as soon as you start not using the word and you say the N word, if you're not calling somebody a nigger, if you're saying using it in context to a conversation that is about the word nigger, you're not insulting anybody. You're just using the word as a discussion point.
You're discussing the word.
Just like using the word cunt. It doesn't matter if you're using it in proper context.
We are
there's
earning,
nothing wrong with it.
We're earning our explicit tag right now.
We should put the warning in the front of the show from now on.
There's
by the way, the show is
explicit.
explicit.
I know people that are super bothered by the C word. It's hilarious.
I used to be.
To me.
And then I'm like, wait, it's just a fucking word.
It's just a
Well,
fucking word. Exactly.
It's a gendered slang. I'm back, by the way. You're welcome.
Yay!
Are you relieved? Do you feel
It's
better?
a gendered
relieved.
slur.
Now he legitimately brought sexy back.
Bravo.
That gets a slow clap right there.
I'm not saying using the words like gender slang and stuff in context, like calling somebody a cunt. I'm saying using the word in context when talking about where the word's been used.
I mean, nobody see it. That's part of the problem. Unless the SJW issue. You know, a lot of people, they're just so oversensitive about every fucking thing. You know, you can't say anything around them. You know, again, I don't think it's a good idea in general to call people cunts.
No, it's not.
I would generally think that's
where
a
you
bad
just
idea.
said just now. You just said cunt. That wasn't a bad
Right.
usage of the word because you weren't calling somebody a cunt. That's what I was getting at. That's a part of the conversation you meant.
No, I agree. No, you're right. I mean,
I'm an asshole.
when you're using it in a conversation, speaking about the word itself. Yeah,
Yes.
Right.
I think there's a lot of confusion on some of those points. People, what's so funny to me is that a lot of people who claim to be offended by the fact that there's political correctness are actually more sensitive about the fact that there's political correctness than the fact that somebody is being people who are offended in the first fucking place.
They don't understand political correctness.
Also, I'm like,
Yeah.
they're like, how dare you fucking be sensitive to a word because it might offend you? Okay, but who's saying that? Usually, the people who are the ones that are being victim. And let's be clear, most of these words are directed towards people who are farther down the power scale, right?
Exactly.
It's usually white dudes, you know, who are sitting there talking shit about. Well, you're just taking away my right to talk shit about everybody else who's not as good as me.
That's right. That's right.
So you know that's what it's about. It's about power. A lot of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting tougher and tougher to be a white male in society.
I know it's unfair. It's so unfair.
That's what this shit is all exactly about. White people are scared shitless. They're losing their fucking monopoly.
Yes.
On shit, and they're just scared. That's what this whole Trump thing's about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this whole political correctness thing is about. White people are scared. They're scared that they're going to start getting treated the way they've been treating everybody else for the last fucking millennia or however the fucking
not just that. They're also scared that other people will actually get treated as well as they do, and they'll lose their special flower significance.
Well, that's the same thing with Christians. I mean, that's
fuck Christians.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless we think that I'm not an anti-theist, which I am.
Most of them weren't when I was anyway.
Wait. No.
But yeah, going back to
former.
Using anatomical insults or using words to degrade people. Like if I called you a fucking idiot, you would be offended. More so than if I just call.
Would she ever do to you?
If you called me a fucking cunt, I'd be mad.
Right.
But if
I told you you're the stupidest human being I ever
context,
met, you'd be more upset.
Now, idiot is actually, and that's a newer thing. It's ableist slurs. Now,
yes.
Now this is a little something that I have a harder time wrapping my head around. I understand the argument behind it. I think a lot of it though is just I have to think of other words to say other than that.
Yeah.
I think
other than saying retard.
I think that the argument has been made that these words no longer mean what they used to.
They do not.
Yeah,
so there's something to it, I think, but because use changes, right?
Meaning is use.
Meaning is use. So to some extent, I think calling somebody an idiot isn't comparing them to a person who's developmentally disabled, because we don't call developmentally disabled people idiots.
You know what else we don't call them?
And it's discussion.
I have a son who's autistic. I don't call him a retard because he's not a retard. He's autistic. You know what a retard is? Donald Trump is a fucking retard.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
Sorry, as soon as the ableist thing comes up, because my son is on the spectrum, I always get pissed off. Because ableism is a huge problem, but the way you address somebody, how you're saying something is way more important than what you're saying. Meaning has way more weight than the actual verbatim that you're using.
And it's so ignorant to that when people are using, this is somewhat related but not totally, but are you really that completely one-dimensional that you can't think of a more creative word?
Not for Donald Trump.
Exactly.
If you want to make somebody feel small, like, come up with a better fucking word.
Yeah, that's
Like, you can be creative.
Exactly the point.
Let's go back to fucking Shakespeare, who had how many hundreds of wonderfully, intensely poetic insults for people.
Many of
And-
which made up.
Like, all of the fucking Jane Austen books, holy shit, they insult people left and right.
The problem is in the moment. And all you have is the shit you were raised with as a kid, because that's the stuff that sticks, right?
That's the thing.
Exactly. Okay, that's you're representing both sides.
Yeah.
She's like, just come up with a different word, but he's like, I didn't learn any more words than this. So basically,
I don't know no words.
Basically, it's something I struggle with because I try to think of other shit to say that isn't.
Yeah.
I mean. Because there's just one side where you're like automatically like, I shouldn't have to fucking think of another word just not to piss somebody off. And then you're like, wait a minute, I'm being a hypocrite because I am doing it in this other instance.
To piss somebody off.
Because I'm willing to not say gay to mean stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or happy, which was its original
Why am
meaning.
I not willing to take the next step for ableist? For the,
I agree. You're not wrong.
So it's an issue. I understand what you're saying. There's different arguments. All I'm saying is just think about it. Just make the effort to at least think about what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying you have to just. People make mistakes. Nobody's expecting anybody to be fucking perfect. All the fuck. There's not like we're not in Saudi Arabia. The fucking SJW police aren't going to hit you on the head.
That's right.
I know everybody likes to bring out the communist trope and the Orwellian thought police, and
Yes.
but
Nobody's doing
that's
that.
not a thing.
But also,
You can say whatever you want, and people seem to think free speech it means the government can't tell you what to say.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you get to spout any hateful, bigoted bullshit you want, and everybody be like, "Oh, that's fine. No, that's cool. Oh, you're cool, bro." No.
well, I think also
I respectfully disagree with your assessment, but
You're a dick. Just you're.
Oh, I see what you're saying here. So I'm an idiot and a retard. I'm afraid I disagree, sir.
one thing I'd like to make, like, this
They'd
is all
still yell
character
SJW.
character assassination when we're using words like idiot and retard and cunt and all that stuff. Like, why do we have to reduce people to that level? If we're having a conversation, if we're disagreeing on something, why can't we just have a conversation? I think that sometimes when we get frustrated and we can't make our points well understood, I am victim of this too. We resort to name calling. Well,
Absolutely.
fuck you,
Absolutely.
And I think there needs to be like this mutual respect, and we need to humanize those people that we are disagreeing with, because I think that's more important than deciding whether we can use the word retard or idiot or whatever. We need to just continue to have a conversation, and anytime we get frustrated enough where we want to use those words, we have to fucking stop, and we have to take a step back and understand that, it's the ideas, it's not the people that we're trying to make feel small.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I don't know
right.
if I ever have the opportunity to call Donald Trump fuckface to his face. I'm going to take it. I'm sorry.
You know what?
You're a fucking Cheeto.
You're absolutely right.
Moldy
There's people
Cheeto.
in my life that I have to deal with on a really regular basis that I have tried to make peace with, but have repeatedly refused to meet me even remotely halfway, and there's so much more. Like, yeah, you want to say fuck you and the horse you rode in on, but that is not going to have the effect that you think it will be.
No.
It's not going to have the effect.
You're right.
So
You're right.
It's easier. It's so much easier.
It is.
People don't really. It's easier to just say fuck you. I don't know.
it's
Go fuck
easier.
yourself.
Yeah, it is.
But it's more difficult to sit there and think of a reasoned, rational approach
Yes.
to try to convince somebody of shit.
Sometimes
Yes.
sometimes when you're dealing with a person who comes out as so ignorant or so bigoted or so backwards in their thinking, it's very, very difficult to not get frustrated
Yes.
and to not call them a name or something. I know, because I do it all the fucking time. Like, I'm constantly calling people idiots and morons and like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like babies, right?
Well, they don't
Fucking
even know how to
babies.
talk.
Right, what the
Fuck. But
Yeah, but this is the
but you're
era
right.
of
You're
social
absolutely
media.
right. Like, if we could slow down and just be a little bit more rational,
The thing is at what
because
point?
that's kind of what we're trying to
Where's,
do, right?
Yeah.
where's the end to that point? Like, I try to have rational discussions with people all the time. And believe it or not, I don't get mad and insulting right off the bat. That shit takes a while.
Don't.
But once it reaches that point where there's nothing left and I can't walk away because the person's still in your face, you need that. You need something to end that with. You can't.
Okay, but why are they still? You're under no obligation to be in their face.
Yeah, if you work with them.
Well, the thing is,
He's talking about people he worked with.
Oh.
but also the thing
I'm
is,
just-
why do you have to end it with being superior? Like, if you can't win the argument with an actual argument, I guess
Just say,
just like,
"Fuck,
all right,
whatever."
I mean, my strategy is normally just like, all right, like, I'm just not going to talk to you about this anymore. Like, this is going in
agree
fucking
to disagree,
circles.
yeah.
And I mean, that's the best that we can really do, because even if you call them a fuckface or whatever, it's not going to have any impact. If it's going to have an impact, it's going to make it worse. They're going to be less willing to listen to you ever in the future.
Well, and it's you getting emotionally attached to them changing their mind, and I mean, it's not.
It's emotionally attached. Period.
Yeah.
You're too attached. Who gives a fuck what some random fuckface, to use your word, says about anything?
Although fuckface, I think, is okay, right?
What?
I think we could
that's
say
fine. No.
fuckface.
If you do it right, it's actually
wait.
not bad.
Is that a sexist thing?
Is fuckface sexist?
No, because
Well,
guys can fuck other
women
guys.
have faces.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
Women
got
have
faces and everybody fucks, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Fuckface
Yeah.
is okay.
I think there's a song about everybody fucks.
I think we've got
Everybody.
Was that REM? No, that's
No.
Everybody Hurts.
No, everybody hurts.
It's the
one. It might have been an offshoot of
It's
something.
the-
Should we do a
the
cover?
explicit version of that song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one they play after.
If I was a
after
musician,
midnight.
I might try that, but I'm
Yes.
not. I'm terrible. So
Do like a Weird Al cover.
yeah, that's right. Karaoke version.
Yeah.
I'll bet we can find a karaoke version.
Heck yeah.
See, why didn't you pick that for today?
Are we trying to scare people away? Because we have
No.
like 8 listeners that we'd like to keep.
I think they enjoyed that. I really do.
I thought that was a good conversation that we just had about
Oh, yeah.
stuff. We're defining the conversation. Yes, it was good.
Yes, it was good. Nobody was a fuckface.
Nope. Nope.
So
Not
the
yet.
thing about getting emotionally attached is I don't get emotionally attached to trying to convince the other person. Sometimes I'm emotionally attached to the topic. That's the
Right.
hardest thing. That's the thing you can't really disengage from.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then that's when it boils over.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, hating natives because you think that they get a bunch of free shit they don't get
It's not.
is not right.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. See, at that point, I can't help but get to that.
Yeah.
But you.
Also,
I'm
I don't
sorry, but
want
you
to. I
can't.
want to call them a fucking idiot. So.
Also,
I'm not really.
can't help it.
I guess
I
it's
mean,
me. I'm not really that interested in educating. I'm more interested in just cutting down idiots.
browbeating.
Well, as long as you're honest about it.
Yeah, I always go in saying, I'm an asshole. This is what I think.
I think honesty is one of the first 12 steps or something like that.
Yeah.
Something
To
like
what?
that.
I don't know.
It's like
AA
before you.
There has to be an end goal.
We talked about the 12-step program and how much bullshit it is.
Yes.
Also, I don't have
yes.
a problem.
Not in depth enough. We will have to spend an
That'll be an
actual
episode.
time.
That'll be a whole episode.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Oh,
Yes.
That's the first step.
That's the first step.
Assholes Anonymous.
Assholes Anonymous. What were you going to say, Chris? We cut you off there.
I don't remember now.
Oh, damn it.
Once again, that train of thought derailed.
All right.
It's okay.
Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. Do you want to plug your stuff?
Yes, I do. Oh, no.
That's what she said? What?
Yeah. No, you said
In
it,
his
not
mom's
me.
bed.
See, I
That's kind of, there's got to be a line.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
yeah, the podunkpolymath.com is the main blog page / podcast page. I'm on Facebook at / the Podunk Polymath, pretty much the Podunk Polymath straight down the line. At Podunk Polymath on Twitter. I'm also on YouTube, Podunk Polymath. Am I missing anything? There's a call-in number which nobody ever calls, but it's 615-378-POPO, and I forgot what POPO spells
You
out.
guys
to.
write that down?
No.
It's on the Facebook page. Nobody ever fucking calls, so I'm not worried about it.
That might change.
And
You
I'm
never know.
Adding it to my
Hey.
phone.
Well, now Gumby's adding it to his phone, so.
Let me make sure that's the right number while I sit there and say that shit. I have a Patreon, which I still don't have a patron yet, but I'm waiting for that special somebody.
We've always had a patron.
I patroned our own show.
Yeah,
For 2.5 years.
7676 615-378 POPO 7676, and that's for freedom. That stands for freedom.
Nice.
7676 1776. That's right, baby. I did that on purpose.
1776. Nice.
we're Canadian. We have no idea what you mean.
Daily Declaration of Independence.
You're
or something?
fucking Canadian Day. Canada Day? Is that it?
Does 1812 mean anything?
Canada.
The war. It's
We always take credit for that.
Canadian.
but It wasn't Canadians that burnt down the White House. It was the British. We
It
always
was-
take credit
British.
for it.
Hey,
It's Canada. It's not Canada.
That's weird. That's not Canadians. I always want to say Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Some
nice.
drunk Irish guy said it was Canada, so I figured, all right.
Sounds good to me.
That works.
Doesn't Canada literally mean like country or something?
The village.
The
Means the
village.
village.
Village or something?
You know, just like most of your states, it was named by by the
First
native people of your
Nations
land,
people, yeah.
by all the people that we
It's
murdered.
also it's so ironic to me that so many place names in the U.S. Especially are named after Native Americans.
and also all
Even
your
though-
trucks.
And also
Those
the
are people he
trucks.
fucked over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, here's a name. You know, this is for us fucking you over for
Yeah.
just like renaming all the streets in the South. Rosa L. Parks Boulevard. Well, we fucked you over and continue to fuck you over.
Yes.
Here's a street name.
Yes.
Every
Isn't that
war you
nice?
guys have been in, you've gone back and tried with reparations to fix things, except for wars with your own fucking people. And that's not me
Right?
picking on you. We're the same way.
we are
we
the
do.
same
We're
way,
guilty
yeah.
of that too. Yeah.
Of course, a lot of our native problems were because we honored the treaty with your First Nations that you guys didn't honor, so they came up here, some of them.
Yeah. Some of them did.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah, I know my history. Don't worry.
So what we should have done, we should have built a wall and made America pay for it. That's what we should have done.
And on the wall note, we'll let you go and we'll go to a commercial break before we
Thanks,
continue the rest of our
Chris.
show.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Thanks
Good
very
talking
much
to you.
for joining us.
I love your
Thanks for
treasure
having
trail.
Nice belt buckle.
All right. Y'all take it easy.
You too.
Okay, click the button.
If you like what we're doing and want to help us keep the lights on, go become a patron at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. You can hear the bonus half hour that we record every episode and get a shout out when you support the show. Become a patron for just $1 an episode at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. Or you can support the show by ordering a t-shirt, mug or other gear from our store at caffeepress.ca/brainstorm podcast gear. If you can't afford to become a patron or buy gear, then why not give us a rating or write a review on iTunes or Stitcher? Every rating makes it easier for people to find us. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of Clothing, atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
Hey everybody, this is X.
And I'm Kyle.
And I'm Felicia. We're the Utah Outcasts.
3 out, unashamed, and active atheists living in Utah.
And we are personally inviting you to let us love your ears each and every week.
As we take the news, current events, and pop culture and give it a little twist.
A love twist, with consent.
And we'll be joined each week by a special guest to tell us what makes them an outcast like us.
Come find us.
The Utah Outcasts.
On podhell.com, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play,
Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And on UtahOutcast.com.
We finally bought that domain off the kids handing out mixtapes in the mall.
Come be an outcast with us.
Take care of yourselves out there.
Bonne nuit.
And you're welcome.
I think that could be a fun show.
Theme song is obviously Rage Against the Machine.
No.
Fuck you.
Okay.
I guess that's fuck you. You won't do it. You tell me.
Let's go into our Woo report.
I'm not a scientist, but if I can tell you your science sucks, then your science really sucks.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
And this is bullshit. This is from naturalnews.com.
Enough said.
This is
next.
The definition of bullshit. Written by none other but than the health ranger, Mike Adams. Facebook goes full Orwellian, now blocking all stories mentioning the keyword phrase. And then he types mandatory vaccinations, but he doesn't put any vowels in. Because he's like super clever, right?
That's why he did that.
He just forgot to buy a vowel.
He's like the super cleverest.
I knew it.
Trust me. So Mike Adams is basically just completely full of shit. I actually just typed mandatory vaccinations into the Facebook search, and there's actually a page called Nurses Against Mandatory Vaccinations.
Oh, wow.
So, and it still exists and it's still operating.
That's concerning.
I don't think they've been blocked based on the words mandatory vaccinations, which is interesting.
I've never understood healthcare workers that are against vaccinations.
Because
if you work in healthcare, shouldn't you know that they work?
But those are the ones that slip through the cracks. Like, they should not have graduated.
Yeah. That's about
It's
it.
true.
Like, they really shouldn't know. Be nurses.
Those are the ones that fell south of the bell curve.
That sounds
I don't know.
That
There are
sounds dirty.
That's going to be the theme for the rest of the night. Everything's going to just sound dirty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm a Canadian. I'm apologizing for my fucking dirty
But
mind.
there are some nurses out there that they're just like anyone else. They can pass the course, but you don't want to get
like
intellectually
how much I would be curious to know from a nursing student how much education they have about vaccines when they are in nursing school?
Lots. Actually, one of our receptionists is in her second year.
Okay.
And she said that there's a lot of, they go through the vaccination stuff because they are in an environment where people are really susceptible, and people that are immunocompromised are most likely to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's courses and there's talk about vaccines and why it should be mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody in the healthcare system should understand. You shouldn't be allowed to be in there and finish if you don't understand it.
No.
And if you understand it, you can't be against it. If you follow logic.
Yeah. Apparently some people don't, though.
Yeah.
Lots of them in Weyburn.
So
I went through science class thinking that fucking creation was the thing, though.
Right,
And
yeah.
I passed the class. I wrote the test.
It's way
I was
too
a brown
easy.
noser.
I remember just back in junior high, my science teacher was not good enough. And when I brought up the question of, like, the way he explained the Big Bang was like, a bunch of matter came together and exploded. And I was like, well, where did the matter come from? And he went, exactly.
I think I know who your science teacher was.
So, I mean, that's the kind of science teachers that have gone through sometimes.
Well,
like,
really good teachers don't end up in shitholes like Weyburn.
well, maybe.
Not saying that all of you nice teachers in Weyburn are bad teachers. I'm just saying that
I'm sure some of you are very nice people.
you people.
Yeah. All right. While I was researching the story, there's a link in the story about that takes you to a link.
A link that takes you to a link.
Yes, a link that takes you to a place called newstarget.com.
That sounds legit.
And newstarget.com claims that the AMA opposes mandatory vaccinations. And
American Medical Association?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That seems just factually incorrect.
That's what I thought. So that's why I kept looking.
Oh, you got dragged down the rabbit hole?
I did a little bit.
They're not talking about just maybe one specific vaccine that they're not making mandatory.
No, I just went straight up and I Googled, is the American Medical Association against mandatory vaccinations? And the first 7 articles were all, well, let's say dubious websites that had the same article, just copied and pasted.
Oh, wow.
And
I'm impressed.
The 8th article was from Newsweek, which was from June of 2015, and it said that the AMA was pulling the religious exemptions and making vaccines mandatory. So
what you're saying is you did a Google search, you ignored the first 7 results until you found one that agreed with your
what I did was
preconceived
I went through the
bias.
first 7 articles and found evaluated them based on their merit and rejected their conclusions.
Because you disagreed with them.
No, because they disagreed with the evidence.
Good answer.
There we go.
And a lot of those articles, they're so vague that the AMA might be against mandatory vaccination of one specific influenza shot. That doesn't mean they're against fucking polio vaccines.
They just say that the AMA is against mandatory vaccination. That's all they say.
Yeah, you know what we should do in Canada? We should just not have mandatory vaccinations unless you want the government to pay for your health care.
That's
like
fair.
they did in Australia.
I'm fair with that. Yeah. Or unless there's a medical exception.
I mean, some people can be allergic to some of the vaccinations.
That's right.
It happens.
And
right.
That
they don't
is
find out until they get the vaccination. By
This
that
is
point,
true.
they're vaccinated.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Well,
but I think it's all the more important
Not
for
exactly.
herd immunity to have those few people that aren't able to get vaccinated for stuff. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's right. They have to be surrounded by people who are vaccinated.
It's what do they call it? It's the herd
immunity.
There we go.
Yep.
Yes. Just said that before.
Yeah, whatever.
That's okay.
But what about Facebook
I do that
blocking
too.
the stories discussing mandatory vaccinations?
Because chemtrails and 9/11 was an inside job.
That's where I looked up the nurses against mandatory vaccinations. And in my notes I have Mike Fucknut Adams claims that the story from News Target that used the phrase mandatory vaccinations is blocked by Facebook. But the same exact story with the word compulsory instead of mandatory isn't blocked. He provides evidence of this by giving you a screenshot of a article that Facebook says is against the standards, and then by posting another screenshot where the article with compulsory vaccinations got through. But you have no way of telling that the first screenshot is what he says it is.
Even if it is. The thing with things like Facebook, do you know how many billions of things get posted on Facebook? It's not like there's specific Facebook police looking at every single post going out.
No.
Yeah.
Right? They look for keywords.
Well, the argument is that this triggered the key. Yeah,
sure, the algorithms.
Yeah, triggered was the key word, the mandatory vaccination.
Except we know that that's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
Because Nurses Against Mandatory Vaccinations is a Facebook page that still exists and is running just fine.
Yes.
The other thing I thought was kind of funny reading that article was that they were pushing their own fucking search engine.
Well, yeah.
Don't use Google. Use our shit.
Of course. You know, what's interesting, while I was searching this up, I was under the impression that Google was going to install some sort of algorithm protection or system where the only things that came up were factually correct things.
No, that's not Google. That's actually part of Chrome, and it's an extension where it won't only pull up factual things. It'll actually it'll give it a ranking for like its Snopes value, basically, kind of thing.
Oh.
Where this has been evaluated to be true or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a Chrome extension.
What is it called?
I don't know.
I need to look that
I
shit
need
up.
that Chrome extension because,
Yeah.
like I said, like the
Me too.
first 7 were all just complete horse shit. And then I had to go further down to fucking start getting real news. So I was a little bit disappointed in Google at the moment. I was like, well, where the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, it's an extension.
But so that's that. I mean,
it's okay, Google. We love you.
We still love you.
Yes.
I still use Chrome over anything else. But
Me too.
Well, yeah,
Amen,
but
brother.
that's Chrome is the browser.
It's the browser.
You don't use Google as a browser.
Wow.
Google's a search engine you use in Chrome.
Yes.
Well,
But
Chrome is owned by
Google's
Google.
browser.
Yeah, Google
Chrome is
a company.
Google's browser.
Google owns Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't understanding where you're going when you said you still use Chrome,
Yes.
even though you love Google.
I love Google.
I'm like, it's
That's
the
their
same
browser.
thing.
That's their.
Okay.
You get it?
No. Good job.
Okay.
Next.
All right. So
Gumby's confused. Give him a second to reboot.
this is where we'll take the next music break.
Mr.
Or
President,
the next break.
Under redundant. It says he redundant.
For live listeners and patrons, you can enjoy the next 10 minutes, and then we'll be
Say that
back.
again.
For regular feed subscribers, this is where we'll have to end this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember
Thanks,
to
everybody.
subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or some other podcatcher, and we'll have
Really,
another
that's it?
episode for you next week. So here's the music break. Through and Through by Life of Agony, Power Shifter by Fear Factory, and Redneck by Lamb of God.
Man, that is a wicked music selection.
I think we've played Redneck before.
Yeah, we definitely played Fear Factory, not Pitch Shifter, though.
Not Power Shifter.
Not
no.
Power Shifter. Although I think that was from the shittier
The
album.
shittier
The
album.
Shittier.
But the best tune off that album.
Okay, so let's go to music. We'll record another half hour for our patrons. You can get that bonus content by becoming a patron at patreon.com/brainstormpodcast.
And Corey can get his 8th gold tooth.
Yeah, well, I'll start with the first one someday. I will so.
Gold?
Well, not gold, but something.
Corey's getting a grill.
Diamond.
Okay.
I lost mine.
You can get our bonus content
For real.
every episode. And you can also get full ad-free episodes,
screwing up your outro,
including music
I'll read it.
the day before the regular feed. You can also join us for the next live broadcast by following us on Spreaker. Just enter Brainstorm Podcast into the Spreaker search bar, or you can go to our website, brainstormblog.net, and check out our live show page on the upcoming events page. Our next episode, we have Steve Novella on.
That's awesome. How did you get Steve Novella on?
I just sent him an email.
And he said he would come on?
Yes.
He hasn't listened to the show.
No, he has not. I'm
That's
sure.
why. Okay. Well, I'll be here for that episode for sure. I got lots of questions for him.
We have upcoming events.
I forgot my question.
The AB Secular Conference.
How many babies do you
on the 15th and 16th in Edmonton. Check out the show notes for the link to their Facebook page. Remember to rate us and write a review on iTunes and Stitcher, or hit that subscribe button. The more people who subscribe, the better we do in our ratings.
The more well known our interview people are, the more listeners we get too.
Oddly enough, eh?
Yeah, so like Steve Novella.
Well, hopefully, yeah. Like
he's really well known.
He's really well known. Aaron Raw's episode is still our best one yet.
That was a good interview there.
Thanks, Dave, for our intro music. Thanks, Alex Capper-Murdoch, for doing the voiceover for the intro and some of our ads. Thank you to Jason Camo for our outro music. You can find his stuff at aloststateofmind.com. All music played is either with permission or under the SOCAN license to play. For more information on SOCAN, you can check out the music license info on our website, brainstormblog.net. You can also get cool Brainstorm gear at cafepress.ca/brainstormpodcastgear, or go to the support page of our website. If you didn't get a chance to contact us through the live chat, which apparently almost nobody got to this week, but think you need to tell us something, you can email us at mail@brainstormblog.net, or go to brainstormblog.net and go to the contact page, fill out the form.
Or you can call Corey directly at 306.
If you have a podcast or website and want a shout out or a promo to play, let us know. We're also offering advertising to podcasts, bands, people, and organizations on the website.
Anybody that wants to give us money. We won't say no to a Christian organization that wants to advertise on our
We
site.
won't, actually. I think people
We
who listen
encourage
to
the
our
Church of
show
Satan.
would think it's hilarious.
Yes.
And if they do advertise, we reserve the right to make commentary about the
Yes,
advertisement.
absolutely.
Well, no, we reserve the right to make commentary about anything ever. So
Yeah.
Please listen to our, what do you call it, disclaimer at the very end of the show.
we should start putting it at the beginning.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in a couple weeks when we have Steve Novella from The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe.
Tell all your friends that Steve Novella is going to be on next time. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
We'll have a
Thanks,
3-hour
guys.
interview with him.
We just wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel. Any guests or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.